Well guys, I guess in today's video we finally got to get around to talking about the real Caster G, man. That's right, we got to talk about the Gongster in this video because there's not a whole lot going on right now on both the NA and the JP versions of the game, and I was like, man, what am I going to upload? And I was like, oh yeah, I have the literal whole Low Star Legend series for this exact reason. Like whenever there's downtime, I can finally talk about the Low Star Legends of the game. I don't know what I'm going to call it whenever I get down to like Guile, Saber of them. Maybe that'll just be like how to fix a servant or something along those lines. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Chen Gong in today's video. I'm assuming he won the poll. I checked up on it after like an hour and was like, yeah, I'm good to make this Chen Gong video. He's winning the polls right now. So I don't know if like all of the Asclepius fanboys in the entirety of the fandom just came in the middle of the night, all voted for Asclepius and he won. I'll just do him next. How about that? Can we just agree on doing that? All right, cool. Before we jump into this video, if you have not already, make sure you leave a like on the video and you subscribe to the channel for that sweet daily FGO content. Also, every weekday, which would include today as this should be going up on Monday, I stream over on my Twitch, which is linked down in the description down below at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, although sometimes I might go live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time just to kind of test the waters a little bit, or maybe I have to stream a little bit early for, well, touching grass, you know. It just be like that sometimes. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and just start talking about Chen Gong, starting off with his hits. And we're kind of down to like low rarity hits again. You know, every time I get to talk about like a really good servant, I'm like, oh, look at these like 80 hit quick cards. They're so good. Chen Gong is definitely one of those servants that they just like min-maxed all of his stuff. They were like, look, he's an art servant, he blows people up, you can use him for looping, that's all we're doing. All right, the quick card, useless. Look, 3 hits, 11% star gen, never click it. The buster card, 1 hit, never click it. Terrible. Dookie dog water. Extra attack, man, are you even doing brave chains, or are you just nuking the entire board? The NP on this guy is his extra attack. Okay, that's where the extra hits come from. But what's really like kind of nice about the guy is that he's got a triple arts deck with an arts NP, meaning he can help your other units in their ability to get their arts loops, which is really good because he does also have a support niche for berserkers, and they can always use the extra arts cards to help, you know, them get extra NP back, because notoriously berserkers are stuck with like triple buster decks. And so providing them with like, say, a couple extra art cards floating around to maybe do an extra arts brave chain here or there, you know, might be kind of good. So yeah, that's really all there is to say about the hits. I know I'm trying to like kind of gas it up a little bit, but realistically, everything that's good about Chen Gong comes from his skills and his NP. I mean, gassing up his hits aside, I mean, ooh, he's got 4 hits on the arts cards. Who cares, right? He can do arch chains. We don't care about that. What can the guy actually do? Here's the actual good stuff and why he's kind of like baby Merlin in a way, as some people have called him. Skill 1, have you heard of this guy named Carry or Assassin Emiya? Well, he's pretty much got the same skill. He's able to pick out any one of your members in your party and say, go attack that person in particular. Like, go destroy them. Don't hit me. Don't hit my berserker friend. Go obliterate this other Chen Gong that I brought. Obliterate the imposter Chen Gong for whatever reason, because I don't know why you'd bring double Chen Gong, but you know what? You got to go take that guy out. In all reality, it's very, very strong in being able to keep himself alive or also keep the berserkers that he wants to be paired with alive. And it's just overall a very strong effect to have. I mean, you have a lot of taunters in the game that are very popular for this reason, and it's one of the reasons that people really cope on Emiya Assassin, because that scapegoat skill can be kind of nice. I know the secondary effect doesn't seem super strong. It's reducing all enemies' critical attack chance by 30% for 3 turns, but do keep in mind he is a low rarity servant and he can't take those insane hits that some of your 5-star servants can, because he just doesn't have the same stats. Now, you can mitigate that with like foes and grails and investing into his stats, but even then, he wants to be paired with berserkers as well if you want to use him as like a free-to-play Merlin for them. And berserkers also don't like taking crits because they will explode. I don't know if you've ever used a berserker before. They do the damage and they also take the damage unless your name is Kualter. But yeah, it's a very good opening for the guy. It's actually stronger than it seems a little bit on like the surface, but the other skills are obviously a bit better in my opinion. The second skill being basically waiver skill, giving 24% defense for 3 turns, accompanied by 350 damage cut and a 10% battery for the entire party. This is all very strong 3-turn buffs, again on a lower 6-turn cooldown, giving a little bit of extra NP to the party, again if you're using it with berserkers. With their triple buster decks, at least usually, they're going to appreciate the extra NP alongside, again, him having all those arts cards to help them out with doing arch chains if they need to do that. But arguably more importantly, it's the defense they're getting. It's going to help keep them alive because, again, Berserkers have pretty much type disadvantage against everybody defensively. I know offensively they're super effective on everybody, but when taking hits, they pretty much get clapped by everybody. And so giving them defense plus damage cut is also really going to help them out. But let's talk about this third skill because I'm sure for the like 5 people that have no idea what Chen Gong does, they're like, why is he specifically honing in on Berserkers? Well, here you go. He literally has the Merlin hero creation skill, but it's specifically for Berserkers. Now, if you just need a targetable 50% battery, he can do that for anybody, but the 100% crit damage and the 3k max HP buff for 1 turn, those are specifically only for Berserker allies. If you need the lore for that, it's because Chen Gong goes with Lu Bu. Lu Bu's a Berserker. There you go. There's the whole lore drop right there. If you were ever like, why can I only use him with Berserkers? But it actually works out really well because you can make Lu Bu do a lot of damage, make him crit really hard. You can use him with Mori, and then enables just all sorts of tomfoolery if you're looking for like low star strategies. But even on the higher end, if you don't have your own Merlin or you don't have your own Koyanskaya or Oberon for a challenge quest or something, consider bringing in Chen Gong. He's also really good at cycling out buffers if you need to cycle out a different support, and that comes from his NP, the thing that he's probably the most notorious for. Now, I know a lot of people, for whatever reason, when this guy came out, were like, I don't know if he's going to be that good because he has to sacrifice one of your servants and bring in another one. But as we all know, free plug suit is very, very strong. I mean, Arash is a dummy good unit for a reason, and this guy lets you cycle through people repeatedly. He can cycle through everybody in your back row if you want. It's also how he's able to farm, because Chen Gong's NP refund can be like a little iffy sometimes, but the reason he's so insane is that you can use him to like arts farm like nodes that have like 2 enemies, which some of their art servants can't do because they need all 3 enemies for that maximum refund. But because Chen Gong just starts cycling through buffers, he's like, okay, there's Castoria, thank you for the 50%. Bring in Waver, thank you for the 50%. Hey, let's even bring in Scotty, thank you for that 50%. Just anyone that can give me NP, welcome to the party. You know, Asclepius, ooh, that's 20% NP, but I'm also getting some NP gain. Like, he just loves cycling through all of those buffers to enable him to farm as well, and it just makes him one of the best free-to-play servants in the game, in my opinion. Like, if we were going to do a free-to-play tier list, the guy would just be in like tier 1, although I technically did a free-to-play tier list, but you guys know what I mean. Overall, this is one of the servants that you should be leveling on your account. Like, when you start leveling up servants, you know, most people tell you to go for like your Arash or like your free Waver after doing Fuyuki, and that's all good and everything, but Chen Gong is definitely worth doing, especially if you happen to have started with Castoria and just any other buffers as well, because you technically get Waver for basically free, because this guy can be such a boon for new players, just letting them farm pretty much anything as long as he can do enough damage. Because there's like some setups where like Chen Gong will only refund like 20% of his NP, and he's like, doesn't matter, as long as you time your buffs correctly, you're maybe using the correct CE given the situation, because maybe you need a little bit of starting charge at the very beginning, etc, etc. But he can get those jobs done for you until you can start getting at like some of your better servants or the actual more like optimal strategies being able to run. So yeah, the guy is very, very strong, and you also have the bonus of being able to use him as a free-to-play Berserker Merlin. Who is not intrigued by the prospect of doing big crits with Lu Bu? I know that I am personally loving doing that, especially after Record of Ragnarok Lu Bu. Like, that just brought like a whole new appreciation for the character, but again, I'm like a year behind on all that. Now we're starting to get like sidetracked. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You guys leave a comment, all that good stuff. Check out stuff in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I gotta get out of here before I start talking about, I don't know, Dragon Ball or something next.